Hey everybody, Paul Canfield at Copper Key Realty and Waterfront. Come back to you with another of the 16,482 things that make a difference when you're buying or selling real estate. A friend of mine once asked recently, they said, what number are you up to of your 16,000 some things? I said, I think number 34, but it's going to keep growing because the list always keeps growing. So unfortunately, you're going to be hearing from me from now until the end of time. So what am I going to talk about today? Open houses. Well, it's Saturday morning on October, what is the date? 25th. And I'm at the office and it's gloomy and cloudy and rainy and I'm going to do some open houses today. So some of you are thinking, well, Paul, you're old and aren't open houses an old idea? Aren't they old fashioned? Isn't that the way you did it back in the 80s when, you had an ad in the newspaper and all that kind of stuff? And the answer is yes, they are an old fashioned idea. But I would submit to you that the reason they're still around is they work. Now, when I say they work, I don't mean that I get a lot of people, a lot of buyers that walk into an open house, look around, and go, "Oh, this is great, I'll take it." No, that doesn't happen much. But why do it? Why bother? Why should you? Why should I, as the agent, spend this time doing this? Why should buyers go do this? But also, why should sellers, have their agent do open houses? Well, again, this is just my opinion, but in my opinion, there's a whole bunch of reasons why open houses are a good thing. And the first one is that at least the open houses that I do and people that I work with do, we don't do them for a super long period of time, usually an hour, maybe 2 hour and a half, somewhere in there. So in a way, an open house is really not much more than just a regular showing. A lot of showing time windows are 45 minutes to an hour. So really, it's not an all-day event. Additionally, unlike a showing, this one you might get multiple people there looking at the house at the same time, and they might get looking at each other, saying, "Well, boy, they like it, and we kind of do too. So maybe we should do something." So that's part of the point. Another part of the point is simply the fact that, despite all the technology we have for all the million things you can see online, the data, the analytics, you can go to Zillow and guess what a house is worth. I'll give you another episode on Zillow on what I think Zillow's estimates are worth. But point being, you can see a lot of stuff online and you can see a lot of stuff by driving by. But there's still something about being in the house. It's similar to buying a car. Cars ride different. I remember I had a car one time, plain Jane, kind of a grandpa car, and I needed new tires. Well, the tires that I put on were different than the old tires that were on there. And the truck or the car felt totally weird. It felt like I was driving in a truck. It felt hard and stiff like rock. And so I switched it out to the tires that I used to have, and then it felt better. Well, it's kind of the same thing with a house. A house, once you get in it and you look around, it gives you a feel. You can feel like, is this house, is it solid? Is it well built? Do I like the sounds that I hear from the neighborhood? Do I like all the cars driving by on the street? Is this a good distance from work or school or friends or relatives or whatever? In a lot of times distance on a map is different. When you look on Google Maps, you could have one property in that mile in that direction about 8 miles and another property in that direction about 8 miles. Well, they could both be the same amount of miles. One could take a lot longer to get there depending on curvy roads and traffic and lights and whatever. So how things look on your computer and your phone are different than they feel when you're actually at the house. I prefer open houses. I like doing them. I think it's just one of the million things that us real estate agents can do to help sell a property. Expose it to the world and get as many people in there as we can. So now if you're a seller, you're thinking, well, if the likelihood is really low that somebody's going to walk into the open house, sounds like a pain, sounds like a bother. Why should I even do it? Well, remember though that there's a few houses when they get listed are instantly attractive to tons of people. Those are rare. Then there's some houses that get listed, and whether it's the price or the condition of the house, most people don't want them at all. And then there's this whole huge chunk in the middle of homes that, yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks all right, maybe. And maybe it's not exciting enough from what they're seeing online or even by driving by the end of your driveway that they want to make an appointment to go forward to see it. But what the heck, if there's an open house, I'm not bothering anybody, why not, let's go. And then they get into it and they go, wow, this is better than I thought. or this layout is better than the pictures made it look, or the pictures rooms are actually bigger than the pictures made it look. And I'll do a little side caveat. I really hate the agents. Yes, this is you out there who's listening. I don't like those pictures that, whether it's a fisheye lens or whatever, but it makes a small room look big. Because when I get there with my buyer and they're expecting that room to be big and it's this big, everybody's angry. It was a waste of time. Don't bother doing that. So just take true and correct pictures that accurately reflect here's what's at the house. So anyway, I'll see you at the open house. And if you want to talk more about open houses or why I think they work, there's a whole much longer list of the things I think are a positive about having open houses. But I'll see you at the next one. Thanks.